Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Dorcas Chia. Our top stories. A federal government moves to eliminate rabies by 2030. Benue Police Command intensifies operations to clamp down on criminality. Federal government redefines road construction across 6 geopolitical zones. And on the foreign scene, United Nations names Nigeria as delegate first African GSDR co-chair. And now the news in detail. The federal government has declared a renewed war against rabies, reaffirming its commitment to eliminate the deadly but preventable disease by the year 2030, in line with the global target. The Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, who declared government commitment at a joint ministerial press briefing to commemorate World Rabies Day 2025 in Abuja, stated that rabies remains one of the deadliest zoonotic diseases affecting Nigerians. The minister reiterated that government is determined to eliminate the disease through the One Health approach, disclosing that the ministry has already begun rolling out vaccination campaigns for dogs and cats, alongside intensified public sensitization programs, in addition to strengthening veterinary services, particularly in underserved communities nationwide. And now, the Benue State Governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, has called on people of the state to rekindle their belief in the justice and progress of Nigeria to thrive through truth, inclusion, agriculture, and connection. Governor Alia made the call during the combined valedictory session in honor of former Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development in the Buhari administration, Audu Ogbe, at the Government House, Makudi. He encouraged the people to emulate the lifestyle of the late Ogbe by showing commitment towards development of the state and the entire country, prioritizing collective good over regional interest, which brings lasting rewards of trust and inspiration.
Today we gather with heavy hearts to honor the memory of Chief Alvin Sept, Mother of the Federal Republic, Officer of the Federal Republic. While we feel deep sorrow at his passing, we also hold immense gratitude for a life that was truly remarkable. A legacy that embodies not just his time in public office, but also his character, dedication, vision, and strong ties to his roots. After 78 impactful years, Chief Audrey has left this world, but he leaves behind a heritage that both challenges and inspires us all.
So with the heart full of grief, as we hold a combined valedictory session in honor of our departed senior colleague, late Honorable Vincent Aodobi. Innocent Aodobi. The late Honorable Innocent Aodobi, OFR, represented the defunct Otukpa State constituency in the first Benue Assembly, 3rd October 1979 to February 1982. You know
in this difficult time. We are especially grateful to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his touching letter of tribute. To His Excellency Vice President Kashim Shettima, and to Senator George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, for their steadfast support.
Still in Benue State, the Benue State Police Command, in collaboration with other sister security agencies, in the last 3 months, have carried out a series of coordinated operations across the state under the code name Operation Restore Peace in Benue State. A statement by the Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Udeme Edet, said the primary objective of the operation is to dismantle criminal camps, recover illicit arms and ammunition, apprehend suspects, and ensure that their prosecutions are in accordance with the law. The Commissioner of Police, Emenari Ifeanyi, commended the gallantry and professionalism of officers deployed to various operational areas. The CP therefore reassured the good people of Benue State that the command remains resolute and unwavering in its commitment to fighting crime in all its forms. Still on security matters, the commander of 401 Special Forces Brigade, Colonel Kolawole Bukoye, has marked yet another significant milestone with the commissioning and unveiling of several landmark projects executed under the visionary leadership of the commanding officer. In his welcome address, Lieutenant Colonel Agwan expressed that the newly completed projects were carefully designed to enhance troop welfare, operational readiness, and overall efficiency within the battalion. He commended the dedication and resilience of the soldiers whose collective commitment made the projects a reality despite prevailing operational challenges. In his remarks, Colonel Bukoye applauded Lieutenant Colonel Agwan for his foresight and unwavering commitment to enhancing the living and working conditions of personnel. He charged troops to take ownership of the facilities and ensure proper maintenance so that they continue to serve their purpose for years to come. And on to health matters, the Deputy Governor of Kebbi State, Umar Abubakar Tafida, has urged for the engagement of women health officers in the house-to-house sensitization on immunization across the state. Umar Abubakar Tafida made the call during a meeting of the Task Force Committee on Immunization in Birni Kebbi. He said the engagement of women health officers in mobilization on immunization would attract more compliance from people towards the exercise considering the cultural background of the people. Remarks made by the Director of Medical Services, Jibrin Gwandu, described the Task Force Committee meeting as the highest decision-making body on health-related issues. He further stated that the state government had received vaccine cold boxes and other essential vaccination supplies donated by UNICEF for effective healthcare delivery in the state. We'll now take a pause here, and up next are news stories from the build sector. Stay with us.
This is Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. And now to the build sector. The Honorable Minister of Works, Senator Engineer David Umahi, has commended the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for redefining road construction in Nigeria and for inclusive resource allocation across the construction sites in the 6 geopolitical zones. He gave the commendation during an inspection visit on September 25, 2025, to the sections of the Enugu-Onitsha dual carriage project that had been descoped as part of the road's completion efforts in Enugu State. Speaking during the visit, the Honorable Minister described the new design pattern, aesthetic appeal, and functional benefits of the ongoing road constructions across the project sites in the 6 geopolitical zones as a vision in action aimed at enhancing the next generation of road sustainability and connectivity, courtesy of the renewed hope administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He expressed satisfaction over the commitment of the contractor that is handling the descoped sections of the dualization of Enugu-Onitsha dualization and the quality of the job being done. Projects visited by the Minister of Works include the scoped sections of completion of the construction of Enugu-Onitsha dual carriageway in Enugu and Anambra State, the construction of interchange at the Agbakpa Junction interchange in Enugu State, and the construction of 23-span flyover bridge project at Eke Obinagu Junction along Enugu-Abakaliki Road, Enugu State. And over to Anambra State. A 3-story building under construction collapsed in Awka, Anambra State on Thursday morning, sparking panic among residents and passerbys. The structure, located behind the State House of Assembly at Ekweme Square, came down around 11:40 a.m. while artisans were reportedly working on the roof. Eyewitnesses said the building caved in suddenly with a loud noise, leaving fears that some construction workers may have been trapped in the rubble. Rescue efforts were initially slow as bystanders attempted to help while awaiting heavy equipment such as evacuators to clear the debris. Officials from the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria and the state's materials testing department later arrived to assess the situation. Preliminary findings point to a poor concrete mix and possible foundation defect as the likely cause of the collapse. While some residents feared casualties, the Awka Capital Territory Development Authority said its checks showed no evidence of anyone being trapped and confirmed no lives were lost. The agency urged the public to avoid spreading unverified reports and assured that strict monitoring of the building standards would continue across the Capital Territory. Traders at the Lagos International Trade Fair complex were left in shock on Thursday as the state government demolished more than 19 buildings valued at over 150 million naira each. The affected structures located at the new Mandela Plaza in Ojo were pulled down over alleged lack of proper documentation and non-compliance with planning laws. The demolition, which took place under heavy security, was supervised by officials from the Ministry of Physical Planning and other state agencies. Access to the complex was restricted as bulldozers reduced the buildings to rubble. Traders and shop owners who tried to salvage their goods were turned away, sparking outrage and confusion. The Commissioner for Physical Planning, Dr. Olumide Oluyinka, said all ongoing construction at the trade fair must stop until valid permits are presented. He stressed that the government will not tolerate illegal or unsafe structures, adding that the exercise was part of efforts to restore order and protect public safety. While traders lamented high losses and claimed that they were not served notice, state officials insisted that the affected buildings lacked approval. The government said the action targeted structures built without statutory permits, on drainage channels, or in violation of urban planning rules. Authorities maintain that strict enforcement will continue to curb flooding, traffic congestion, and unregulated development in Lagos.
Yes, we're here on the directive of Mr. Governor just to ensure that things are done the way it should be done, that laws are complied with, the regulations of the state are not, messed up with, and that's why we're here. From the information reaching us, we see that a lot of things have gone wrong. We were here some times back and we're back here to see that fiscal planning laws and regulations are complied with, environmental regulations are complied with, and the environmental law 2017 that we see that we bring it to full force. We've been around and we've seen some infraction. We're here a few weeks ago and we warned them, we gave them things to do and not to do and things to comply with. I haven't gone around today again. I see that a lot of things are yet to be fixed. I've seen the waste, I've seen the drainages, I've seen the wastewater, and we are talking that we have no choice but for them to comply. This is Lagos State. It's foremost, we cannot allow slum or urban slum, to take preeminence in the city. So it's one state government, is one space for everybody, and we have to ensure that we comply. Brazenness is not, there's no room for brazenness. You just have to be law-abiding and one state government as a whole.
We want to make it clear that we have regulations, that have to be adhered to strictly. So the physical planning permit authority will do its work, ensuring that all buildings within the trade fair compound, because it's no longer a complex, because a trade fair complex, is a place where we have seasonal or periodic expo, So, but this has become a market, and if it has become a market, then the state and the local government will have to be fully involved, in what is happening here. Every single building that is being built must be staged. It must have a letter of authorization. Our officers must, from the foundation to the roof, stage the construction, and after the construction, we'll issue what you call a certificate of completion and fitness for habitation. Every 5 years, we'll also do a certification to ensure that the building is still fit, for habitation. And then, the Mr. President has just asked that the insurance law be gazetted. You see fire in different places around Nigeria. Lagos is not left out, and that is the reason why every single building, within this compound must have an approval. We have spoken with the executive director. I would leave the Honorable Commissioner to talk about that. But, as the special advisor on EGIs and urban development, we'll be carrying out a full mapping of the entire area. And we will expect, as the commissioner will say, that, due processes, he will tell us what the processes are. But as it stands today, under the laws, we have stopped every construction that is going on in this market. We have had a meeting while the commissioner was having a meeting with the executive director. We were also having a meeting with the stakeholders in the market, and we have told them to stop every construction going further. No further construction will go on in the trade fair compound. Do you understand? And also the trade fair complex, because there's a trade fair complex and then there's also the compound. Do you understand? No development will go on again. Any development that goes on after today without regularization of their title documentations, without regularization of their building approvals, without letters of authorization and state certification will be brought down. We have agreed now with the stakeholders, and they've all agreed that they will do nothing further until when they come to a meeting in our offices next week. I think I would like to stop here, but before I stop, I want to make it clear that it's one country, we're under one constitution. You understand? The laws of Lagos State, our extant regulations have to be obeyed. Nobody has the power, you understand, to be an actor in Lagos State. Even if you come from the federal government, you need to work with us. Don't work against us. If you work against us, we will definitely make sure that the full wrath of the law, you understand, is brought against whoever, is violating our regulations. And we expect that, even the trade fair complex, we have gone round. You understand, the complex, the offices, we have seen that even the building is not even fit for habitation. My officers are right now writing a report, which we're also going to share with the executive director. You understand, the premises itself is leaking. You understand, the roof is no longer there. Behind, there are a lot of buildings that are now become abandoned. There is an abandonment law under the Lagos State Building Control Agency. And I'm sure that Mr. Governor will talk to the appropriate authorities at the federal government so that we are working together. Mr. Governor has directed that we should stop any further action, and has asked that all the stakeholders and the management of the trade fair, should come to our offices and discuss with us going further.
What has actually happened today, it's a response from the Lagos State government that, if you recall, some couple of weeks back, some estates were declared illegal. And what was the reason? Purely because they have not gotten layout approval. Now, this complex is about 332 hectares, so which is more than due for a layout permit. We have met with the DG, that's the executive director here, and we have not seen the layout. The conclusion of our meeting is that the layout should be forwarded to us so that we can review, and all the buildings that are on it must show evidence of individual planning permit. There's still some contention on that, so she's going to get back to our own authority and clarify that. But the take home for today is that all construction, or sorry, all development under construction must stop immediately. And within 1 week from now, we expect the authority to come to our office with their layout plan and the approval of the individual buildings. If we don't have this, I'm sorry to say, we will bring down all the buildings in this place. We will bring them down, because even if they claim that it's federal land, so long as it's been given to a third party by way of lease or any other agreement, that development must procure Lagos State planning permit. It's a law. We are not disputing the land. The land is owned by the federal government, fine. But what we are saying is that for any development as confined by the Supreme Court judgment of 2003, any development within any state is under the authority of the planning authority within that state. And we here in Lagos State, we are here to enforce that. And you can see, you have a complex, a 5-story building right on the road curb with the door opening onto the road. What would you expect? That is a chaotic kind of design, and as a responsive government, we shouldn't tolerate that. We've just shown to the DG that even if you go into a committee of international countries, do you want to show the existing layout as a meaningful? It would be a total shame on this country and on Lagos State, and this is what we set out to correct. We cannot allow people just building recklessly. You are talking of a warehouse on a 5 floors. What kind of design load do they anticipate? Do they use in those designs? A building that is supposed to carry load should not be designed as a residential building. So these are things that we need to correct. Even their own complex, you can see the state of the place. The roads are bad, the drainages are blocked, refuse are dumps on the way, the soil waste disposed of indiscriminately. I mean, everything just out of order. As a responsive government, we cannot allow that. And it's also in their own interest, because if we have a decent place, the value, that's what they also fail to realize. By allowing us to carry out this, our normal duty and exercise, is going to enhance the value of this complex. As it is now, it's almost, it's a thing of a shame that as a Nigerian, we are not proud of. And we cannot allow that.
And on over to the foreign scene. The United Nations has made history by appointing Nigeria's sustainability expert, Dr. Adedoyin Adeleke, as co-chair of the 2027 Global Sustainable Development Report. He becomes the first African and the first Nigerian to hold the position, marking a major milestone for the continent in global policy leadership. Dr. Adeleke will work alongside Professor Phoebe Kondouri of Greece to lead a 15-member team of world-class scientists. The mandate is to produce the UN's flagship evidence-based report on the Sustainable Development Goals, which will serve as a crucial guide as the 2030 deadline draws near. Known for his innovative green projects, including Nigeria's first solar-powered building made from recycled plastic bottles, Dr. Adeleke has also spearheaded youth-focused sustainability programs across Africa. His appointment reflects growing recognition of African contributions to climate action and sustainable development. The 2027 report is expected to be the final review before the 2030 SDG deadline. Observers say that Adeleke's leadership will help ensure African perspectives and priorities are firmly represented in shaping the next phase of the global development agendas. Sales of new homes in the United States jumped in August to their fastest pace in 3 years, surprising analysts and signaling renewed activity in a sluggish house market. Government data showed single-family home sales surged more than 20% to an annual rate of 800,000 units, well above forecasts. Economists say the increase was driven by builders offering discounts and incentives to clear excess inventory. Falling borrowing costs as financial markets anticipate a Federal Reserve interest rate cut also help bring some buyers back into the market. Even so, experts caution the numbers may not reflect a lasting turnaround. New home sales make up only about 14% of overall transactions, and affordability challenges continue to shut out many potential buyers. Analysts at Oxford Economics and Wells Fargo warned the spike could be a temporary blip, noting the data is often volatile and subject to revision. Builders say nearly 4 in 10 have cut prices in recent months, the highest share since the pandemic. Mortgage rates, which dropped to 6.26% last week, may provide some relief, but housing affordability and a cooling job market remains a major hurdle for the first-time buyers. Now that's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the hour, but before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Federal government moves to eliminate rabies by 2030. Benue Police Command intensifies operations to clamp down on criminality. Federal government redefines road construction across 6 geopolitical zones. And on the foreign scene, we told you that the United Nations names Nigeria as the first African GSDR co-chair. For more news updates in the housing sector, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And you can download the Housing TV mobile app on your Google Play Store and Apple Store. Many thanks for watching. I am Dorcas Chia. Bye for now.